This season of Truly Independent is supported by the Help Them See Foundation. Help Them See is a nonprofit dedicated to supporting feature films that inspire faith, hope, and connection. By partnering with filmmakers, the Help Them See Foundation brings meaningful stories to life and shares them with audiences worldwide, making a lasting cultural impact through the power of cinema. Learn more and discover how you can be part of the movement by visiting helpthemseefoundation.org. Welcome to Season 3 of Truly Independent. I'm Garrett Batty alongside my co-host Daren Smith. Each week, we'll go in-depth with guests, industry experts, and we'll even share our own experiences, all with the goal of demystifying the independent film process. This season, it's all about the script, from the first spark of an idea to a polished final draft, breaking it down for scheduling, budgeting, and ultimately shooting. We'll walk through every step it takes to get from page to production. Welcome to Truly Independent. Welcome to another episode of Truly Independent. I'm Garrett Batty, and with me as always is my co-host, Daren.
Hey, man.
Daren Smith.
Did you forget my last name?
I
No, you didn't commit. You didn't commit to the full name, and so you gave up halfway through. We're gonna have to do another take on that. No, just kidding.
No,
Garrett,
we never
it's good
do.
to be
It's
here.
always one takes.
It's good to be here. It's good to see you. It's rare that we get to do two of these in 1 week, but we've got Kirby Heyborne with us today, folks. I'm so excited.
Sorry,
Welcome.
we should do a retake on this. We have Emmy-nominated Kirby Heyborne here.
I'd like to say thank you, Daren Smith and Garrett Batty.
Oh, well done.
It is to be here with you guys. I committed to the names.
Well done.
You sure did. Kirby, thank you. This is so exciting to have you here.
Yes.
And you and I have been friends forever.
We're going on 2 decades now.
Is that what it's been?
Oh, man.
That's a long time.
I love that.
Well, one of us has gotten older and the other one is Kirby. It's awesome. Thank you. And we're, to have you on Truly Independent. This guy has, Kirby, you've done everything from independent film to full-blown Hollywood feature films and narratives and everything in between. It'll be so fun to catch up with you. And then you and I are also going to talk about our foundation that we've just started and kind of like announcing this month.
I love it. Let's get down to business.
Okay.
And cool. Listeners might have noticed that there's a Help Them See Foundation as the sponsor for this season, but now we get to finally give some context to that. And I'm going to kind of play audience surrogate because I'm learning about this almost in real time as well. I've had very little insight into what you guys are cooking behind the scenes, but it's very cool. We're glad to talk about that. And Kirby, like, you were in our last movie, Faith of Angels. Maybe we start there. That's the connecting piece for all three of us. And that's a good place to start. So Garrett, wait, can I start with Garrett? I don't know if you had a first question, but like,
you start.
Why'd you pick Kirby for the role? Put you on the spot.
I don't know that it was necessarily my choice so much as Kirby. Why did you accept this role? Because Kirby knows I've called him for every opportunity I get. And he accepted this one. I was just so grateful for it.
This one worked out. Honestly, it came at the right time. I was in between shooting episodes of my TV show, Making Good, and the schedule worked out perfectly, which it hadn't happened in past roles that we'd worked together on a couple of projects and then just schedules get busy and prior commitments. And then you called up and said, hey, what are you doing September 8th or whatever?
It was kind of unique because we had a specific schedule they're trying to work around.
Yes.
And you're like, well, I'm only not available these certain days. And we're like, well, those are the days you're not shooting. So that's perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah. So after Garrett said, this person isn't available, are you available, Kirby?
I do remember when Garrett asked if I would play the role of Terry Dennis. I was like, Garrett, you've got to do better than that. I know you like me. I know I look good on camera, but like, I don't think I can bring the emotional content to the screen. So.
And, Daren, Garrett and I had worked on a bunch of things together. We've done improv together. And so I love and adore Garrett. I love his creativity. I love his ability to tell a beautiful story. I love him as a director. But this is my really first exposure to you as a big time producer. And man, you stepped up.
Thank you.
You were someone that was organized, someone that was kind. You made sure that the actors and the crew, that's a hard job, I think, being the producer of a film. Making sure that the whiny actors are okay, making sure that the demanding director is getting what he needs, and then that the crew is all happy, and you did that with flying colors. So what a privilege it was.
It was a
Well,
fun
thank you.
team. It was a great team. Kirby,
Yeah,
did you have a trailer? I'm just curious. Did you have a place to change?
I did. It's a
Yeah,
small little thing.
it's
It
Daren.
wasn't a
That's
shared
Daren's
trailer.
doing right
It
there.
it was a
It
s
wasn't shared.
it was just Kirby's. Even on the days he wasn't there, it was just Kirby's. No one
It's
else
fine.
could go
I made sure nobody enters here.
in.
Uh,
That's right.
yeah,
Well, it was yeah, it is fun. It is fun. It's a fun little reunion. I guess we see each other frequent enough that I don't always associate like, hey, that was the movie we all kind of met on and worked together on,
yeah,
or that you and Daren worked on. So
yeah.
it's fun. It's fun to have this little recap.
Yeah.
And the movie continues. And we do there. Darren, I don't know if you noticed, they've cleared over 1 million views, and
Wow.
about equally that with Angel Studios, and it just continues to be seen. Kirby, do you still get? I mean, you do so much with your TV series and all of your other films. Um, Hopefully, that adds to what people stop you for.
Yes, people are now. And, it's people would say, "Oh, I love this movie or the TV show," but I was just in Walmart this morning that someone said, um, "That was so beautiful. I cried the whole movie. Thank you."
Oh, man.
So,
Okay, well, good. Well, you did cry the whole movie, so
I
thank you.
cried the whole movie.
Oh, you did. Oh, you're talking about that.
This
Okay,
movie will leave you dehydrated after an hour.
Yes, it will. It will.
okay. So there's Faith of Angels, which is great, which we talked about. Can we talk about? I did mention this kind of jokingly. Emmy-nominated Kirby Heyborne. You've had a TV series going on for a long time,
Yes,
and
6 years, and it's the best thing next to any Garrett Batty project. The best thing I've been a part of. It's a TV show where I go around the world and I find organizations, nonprofits that are making a difference. I join up with them, see what they're all about. In the beginning, you laugh, and by the end, you're crying. And it's been a beautiful privilege to be a part of it. We have our final 1 hour long special that we filmed over the course of a year. Um, it's going to be out in October 5th is when
oh,
it's coming out.
wow,
So
perfect.
it'll
And
be
we can find that on BYU TV or streaming.
BYU TV. Yep, you'll be able to see it. Yeah,
It's a powerful show, Kirby, and it is amazing to see all of the different nonprofits
yeah,
that you've been able to feature, and just like the genuine heart of every single one of these individuals. One of the things that I appreciate really about the show, which I didn't expect to appreciate so much, and help me, forgive me for being blunt, but in each episode, we learn that you are going to make up a song, or you're going to write a song in each episode for
yes,
each individual. Now, I know that you do improv, and I know that we sing songs on stage and kind of get the laughs and everything, and that's great. I also know that there's patterns of songs that you kind of start to say, okay, I know how to, we're going to sub out one word and it's going to be improvised and made
right.
up and great. That's not the case with this
No,
series. And you make up really heartfelt elements to each of these songs in each episode, which is mind blowing to me, but is also extremely touching. Was that always part of the show?
when we were first
Mm,
brainstorming what it is, that was a final tack on that I said
mm,
to the creator, Greg Kiefer, a good friend. I said, "Do you know what? I want to make this even more personal because nonprofits, it's not glorious at all. They're trying to get grants, getting donations. It's a really hard road." And I thought if I can give them a gift that they can keep. So that was tacked on at the very end. And it was a great idea and a sweet idea. But I'll be honest, every episode, it would boil down to I have about 1 day to write a heartfelt song that connects with the organization, but that's also universal enough that anybody listening to it can say, "Oh yeah, I felt that way." The hardest song I think for me going into it was there's a woman who rescues pot-bellied pigs, and and I thought, how am I going to write a touching song about pigs that are rescued by this woman? But then when your boots are on the ground and you hear what it's really about,
mm,
this woman is doing this because, in essence, she realizes that she herself and all of us, we need to be rescued. So I can't write the song before I get there because then I'd write a dumb song about pigs.
yeah.
It's when I'm there and then under the gun, under the pressure that I can see this is about redemption and being rescued. And so that's one of my favorite songs too. It's about pot-bellied pigs, but really it's about we all need rescued. So it was a great idea when we tacked it on, but then the pressure every single episode, the night before, while everybody else, the rest of the crew, they're out having burgers and having a good time,
Right.
I'm holed up in my hotel room up until 1 or 2 in the morning, needing to perform the song the next day, praying for inspiration and guidance and how can I make this connect with them. But that's been my most satisfying part of the show,
That's so
is that
cool.
connection, letting them know that they're seen and I know what they're really about. So I've loved doing that.
It's mind blowing. And I thought you were going to say the rap was the hardest song that you've written, but I mean that just goes to show the variety,
The range.
the range that you offer on this show.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, Kirby. I'm
Thank you.
so glad to
Thank
be
you.
able to have seen it.
I want to tack on the praise here because I think one of the reasons the show works, Kirby, is because of your singular ability to be so emotionally available. And like, I've known you for probably close to 20 years at this point, too. I actually did the dialogue edit of Single Second Ward in 2006.
Yeah.
That was our first shared credit.
Yeah.
But like, this is the first time we really worked together in a professional capacity. The thing I noticed about you when you came to set is how emotionally tuned in you were. Like you're the living embodiment of tune thy heart. Cause like wherever you were at, you were 100% with somebody, no matter where they were on the cast or crew or whatever. You were just there. And then it was like, Kirby, we need you on set. Great. Sorry, I gotta go. And then you're in set and you're 100% tuned in there.
Mm.
And you were able to bring these performances to the screen that were just like so emotionally resonant because of that ability that you have. So I say that because I think it kind of tees up what we're going to talk about with this foundation. So there you go, Garrett. Alley oop. But
That's great.
Thank you.
I think that where I want to wrap that thought up is like, if you're listening to this, it's not just the three of us reminiscing and saying how cool we are, but like when you find people that have these unique abilities, like you've got to partner with them. You've got to collaborate with them. You've got to work with them because they make the project better. And I think we've all together said something about each other now to this point of like, you can see why we chose to collaborate on the movie we did.
To tie in our writing, this season we're talking about writing and coming up with that. I think that Kirby, you talked about kind of putting in the hours when the crew is maybe out taking the night off.
Yeah.
You knowing that you have to write this song, be in the moment and write. That's kind of where it happens. I've been writing this script for Where the Dog Heals. Daren and I have talked about that, but I've discovered that it's coming to me at late nights. So when the family goes to bed, that's when my writing session starts, and I can crank out my 8 pages, or I'm doing polish now. But yeah, in the moment, those that are listening, sometimes that writing it can't be forced. It just has to kind of flow.
Right. It's never at the most convenient time.
No. Yeah. Okay. Daren, you did cue it up. You alley-ooped, and it was a big lob, so I'm going to catch it now. Kirby and I have partnered on a foundation, and I don't know how much you've taken from other foundations, Kirby, as far as influence on putting this together. But this is something that I'd be curious about. As an independent filmmaker, we've talked about how do we take these movies that my focus is these faith-based movies, very mission-driven movies, and get them into an audience that wants those. But we need the resources to be able to do that, and I think that is the bane of every filmmaker's existence. Like, how do we get funding to make these movies? And talking with Kirby and brainstorming with Kirby, it occurred to us that through nonprofits, we could essentially raise funds for faith-based films and faith-adjacent films. And so through that, we started the Help Them See Foundation, which is the sponsor of this season. Kirby, have I set that up at all? Or I'm sure you could do that in a much more concise way.
No, that was perfect. I think we believe that mission-driven films, at least for you and me, Garrett, that's where we want to spend the next 20, 30 years of our life. And the best way to get those made are with people who share that same mission, that same vision.
You did it much more concise. Perfect. Yeah. Uh,
He probably has
so
more practice as an actor doing this.
yeah, that's right. It takes me as a director to be like, okay, this is blah, 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 blah. And he
A
goes,
little faster,
I
Garrett.
got it.
A
I got
little
it.
shorter.
Let me show you what you want. Well, and that's exactly it. So through the Help Them See Foundation, we started essentially, it's a nonprofit, completely like a 501c3 that through um, high net worth individuals who are mission driven or crowdfunding, we will be raising funds and have been raising funds for um, any number of feature films, specifically feature films or series that are faith based. We've got Kirby. We spent the past month putting together this board of directors, an incredible board of
Yes.
directors who've been
That are
very,
excited.
very helpful.
It's amazing. The people that, I know both of us have, I don't know how much we talk about this on this podcast, but we were both very prayerful in who we approached, and people that we felt were committed to this mission and this vision. And I would say if I knew batting metaphors or whatever, or baseball, I think we're batting 12,000%. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what
That's
they
how it
say.
goes. Yeah, yeah.
It's high. I don't get the percentages with it, but we're batting really high. That everybody that we've met with, it just takes a few minutes to say, this is what we're doing. This is where we want to take it. We want to move the needle in favor of faith and mission. And we understand our little production company, the films that we're going to make, they're going to move the needle maybe a millimeter, but that millimeter is what counts, is what's needed. But this board has been amazing. They are excited. Meetings are being set up. Donations are coming in, which is just a testament to me that we're doing the right thing. This is how it needs to be.
What's interesting to me, Daren, too. I mean, Daren, you and I have you're raising funds for a movie through an investor model, which is a great model, and certainly for the type of films that need to be made through that model, you'll do a great job raising for those films. Um, for me, it's a paradigm shift. I'm on my 8th movie as far as fundraising, and every movie I'm having these conversations with investors who are wonderful, generous people, and very, I'm so grateful that they would listen to my idea or hear my pitch. But I'm realizing that more often than not, that film is not how they made their money. Film is not the reason I'm talking to them. I'm talking to them because they've done very well in real estate or medical or tech or whatever it is. And it seems out of place for me as an independent filmmaker to sit across the table from somebody and say, let me tell you how to make more money. That it just doesn't make sense. I'm not good at that. I'm clearly not good at that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting across the table from this person. What I am good at is making films. And I so we are trying to find individuals who have said, look, I'm going to continue with my career and making great money in real estate or whatever it is, or I've reached a certain point now, I'm ready to be philanthropic, or I'd like to align with your mission, which is to make faith-based films, to move the needle, to move a cultural needle on representing faith in like high-level media, and we're partnering with those individuals. And our worry and concern as an artist is not at all, how do I make this multimillionaire $100,000? It didn't make sense. And once that paradigm shifted for me, I've been able to explain it to other people, and I think that's why we're getting the response we're getting.
Yeah. Well, you're not pitching a return on investment, which film is not a good return on investment vehicle. Like, that's not what it's for. It's for telling stories. Mm-hmm. And if you're saying, we're going to do this, we're going to make movies that have an impact, that can change people for the better, like, that is a mission-driven thing. That's an impact-driven thing. And it's completely different for them. So it's what you've done is you've taken your paradigm shift and you've incepted their brain with the same one to say, this is a paradigm shift. We're not funding movies. We're not investing in movies. We're funding movies, right? That's what I was trying to say. So
what I love about this, when Garrett taught, that totally changed my paradigm as well, because I have projects that I'm trying to raise funds for as well. And when he came to me with this mindset, it just made so much sense to me. I want to spend the next decades of my life doing mission driven films, and that's where I get the most satisfaction. Garrett said something. We're not focused on making a return on investment for the investor, but that's not going to be at the expense of the quality of the film. I feel like with this model, instead of doing a $500,000 independent film or even $1 million independent film, this is something that we can treat these donations sacredly and with kid gloves and make sure that it has the biggest impact. But now we can take $5 million and make a great movie. It's going to elevate it. If we want to compete with movies and television series that are on Netflix and Hulu, we can't do a $500,000 budget. We need $5 million or $10 million in order to do this. And we're finding that people agree with that. And so they're willing to donate larger sums. And that's the thing is when that's removed, that pressure of how can I make this guy another $10 and how can we make the greatest product, people's minds just shift.
So I've got a couple of more logistical questions or technical questions as the audience surrogate here. So you guys are kind of announcing this through the podcast. I'm sure you'll have some PR releases and it'll be a big thing so you can get more awareness and more donor dollars coming in. What does the structure or the model look like? Like how many films or projects a year are you looking to do? At what budgets? Are they all just exclusively Garrett Batty and Kirby Heyborne projects, or are you expanding out to other people? Like, I'll start with those three.
Yeah, great questions, and I'm glad we can talk about this and anticipate what questions are going to be once we start rolling this out. So for our first year, we have 2 to 3 films. We've got 2 scripts that are completed, a third that we're considering, and they will be put before the board, and the board gets to determine which projects will move forward based on team and funding and resources and anticipated impact. Kirby, did I phrase that right?
Yep.
Hopefully, in that answer, I've answered that no, these are not exclusively for Garrett Batty, Kirby Heyborne joints. The idea is that the board will be able to look at each film on an individual basis, say who's the team, what is the impact, what's their past record of impact, is there proof of ability, and decide from there. I anticipate, Daren, that once we announce this publicly, we get past our little soft launch, that there will be an inflow of both donors and also filmmakers or creatives that say, hey, will you consider my project? And I anticipate that there will be hopefully on the end scroll of credits, you'll see the Help Them See Foundation on multiple projects that we help support in any number of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious. The projects that you don't do, for example, Garrett, that you don't write and direct, are you then the EP or the producer? Like, how are you making sure that your vision for the foundation is being injected into each of the projects that you guys work on through the foundation?
I think it's through it's going to be like a dad interviewing the new son-in-law before he lets his daughter get married. It's going to be a process. We need to make sure that they're aligned with our mission, that it's not about vanity, it's not about ego, it's about moving the mission forward of faith in film. So there's going to be an interview process, and our foundation, both Garrett and I are good writers. Garrett's a great writer, and it'll be us with the foundation looking over the script, making suggestions, making adjustments so that it does fit that mission. And if they're willing to take those notes and submit it back again to us, then that's when we will give the grant to them. I don't know if we need to be EPs on it. I think if we do that father-in-law due diligence, then we can trust the person to create it. It might be on the first few that, we will be a presence on set, but I don't know necessarily that we always need to be EPs.
I think, Daren, also one of the things that Kirby and I've talked about is not only would the Help Them See Foundation help with production funds, but also marketing funds. And so a lot of the times for projects, the projects will be completed and we'll see, okay, let's help get this out now to a broader audience. And we'll put this in front of the board and say, hey, board, here's this amazing completed film. We feel like the Help MC Foundation can help this now reach a broader audience. And so funds could be allocated for just P&A support. At that point, that's definitely not something we would EP.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It sounds very exciting. I'm sure you're going to get lots of inbound, whether it's from this podcast discussion or whether it's from press release and from talking to people and having a full launch of the new foundation. But it's a very exciting model, and I love. I mean, we're doing the same thing like you mentioned, Garrett. We just have different models, but like the idea that there's other people too that are looking at this industry and going, I think there's a better way. What would that look like? And then opening up that possibility gives you things like Help Them See Foundation or the Producer Fund or whatever it may be that allows people to participate in this like movement for meaningful media. How's that for an alliteration?
That's nice. That sounded written, Daren. That was fantastic.
That's mine. I'm keeping it trademark registered.
Because no one has ever said that before.
No, that's fine. Fine. I
love it. Daren, one of the things too, you asked about logistics. The Help Them See Foundation it has no ownership in any of these movies. So each film is still created through an LLC. And as that LLC, and that film will be distributed theatrically. I mean, that is the goal, is if we're going to move the needle, we need to be playing in the venues where people are moved.
Yeah.
The LLC owns the movie, and as the films generate income for their filmmakers, that grant or that inflow of money that has come from the Help Them See Foundation will be repaid back. And so it will be this perpetual entertainment fund for people to continue to pull from the foundation, fund their films, and then come back and do it again.
Amazing.
One thing that I love about this model as a filmmaker is that so let's say the Help Them See Foundation grants $500,000 to a film that gets made. As that $500,000 gets paid back to the foundation that helps it keep running, as a filmmaker, I give that typical. If I were to do it through traditional equity funding or this model, you got to pay back that money. That money now for me that I would have had to give back to an investor now goes to the Help Them See Foundation is tax deductible for me now, because that in turn becomes a donation from my film. So then I get it feels like double dipping. It's so great. I'm participating in the profits, but also the money that I received, the repayment, is now a tax deduction for me. So that to me, for a filmmaker, that's exciting.
Yeah. As they say in Utah, that's a real big bill.
It's a real big bill.
It's a real bill. You can trademark that one too, Daren, if you want.
Okay. I don't think I'll use that one in the future.
No, don't use that one very much. Yeah, so that is what we've been working on. Our soft launch is starting this September, and our website's up so people can go to helpthemseefoundation.org and check it out. Feel free to donate or share or jump on board or send us your comments so we can make it better for everybody.
Amazing. So as a perfect example, then how has the Help Them See Foundation been involved with the development where we're at with Where the Dog Heals?
Where the Dog Heals, great question. So one of our board members has set up fundraising meetings, essentially just cottage meetings, little meetings. So I was able to go out to Atlanta, meet with several people that were interested in that film, saying, hey, how can we support this film? How can we invest? How can we donate? Or honestly, how can we help this film get made? Talk to them about the fund, about what we're doing with the nonprofit, and getting that set up. And it has created an avenue for donations to come in specifically for that film. And that's one of the things. If when our board has approved a film, that film gets, I guess, categorized on the website on helpthemseefoundation.org. And so as a donor, I can go to a general fund or I can go to a specific film and say, oh, I really resonate with this potential dog movie. And so I'm going to donate to that film. So through that donation specific to Where the Dog Heals, we've been able to write the script and develop the movie and go to Atlanta, and we'll continue to raise money that way for the film.
Amazing.
One thing that I love about working with Garrett is that we realize there are great dog movies, and the world does need another great faith-filled dog movie, but also Garrett and I are open to, and the next two projects after Where the Dog Heals is they're comedies. People can still feel the spirit and have their faith raised by laughing.
Mm-hmm.
So our next 2 projects are going to be that, like comedies, people laugh, but also they can see, which, there aren't many faith-based films that, my goodness, I turned off all my notifications, you guys. Why are they still
Hey,
coming?
they're coming because you're dinging the bell, Kirby. Those are donations pouring in.
Here it goes. Yes, that that comedy can move the needle, and so like that's a new area I think that we're going into. That there are not very many movies that you go to that you feel fulfilled and laugh.
That's a good point, Kirby. We should bring that up. That this is not the foundation, and maybe this is exactly what you're saying. We do not want to just repeat and be an iteration of what's already out there as far as the stereotypical faith-based movie. Like that's not at all what we're interested in doing. There are people that do that very well, and let's support them in doing it very well.
Yes,
But no, we would like to take this faith-based element and apply it to bigger and better projects that will move the needle, not just kind of talk to the choir.
exactly.
There's a saying there.
Yeah.
Preach to the choir.
Sing to the choir. Sing in the choir.
Sing in. Okay, so you're directing the choir.
Yeah.
1 second.
I'm confused.
No. Okay.
So that's it. We'll work on that. We'll workshop that.
Amazing. Okay, so people can go to helpthemseefoundation.org and see pictures of Emmy-nominated Kirby Heyborne, and it's just very exciting. I'm happy for you guys because I just had heard little inklings of it, and then I went to see if there was a website, and there was, and then it was like Garrett and Kirby are doing this thing. I was like, this is perfect partnership in action. I love everything about it. So I'm excited to see how it plays out. I'm rooting for you guys as well, and it's going to be exciting to collaborate on some projects together.
Yes, Daren. I mean, it hopefully will align with your fund. If you say, "Hey, I've got a fund now, and we need money," or I want to put a film in front of the board, that's what we want to do for you.
Yeah.
You have a producer conference coming up, and I don't know if we need to address that real quick, but we also have Kirby with us for another 10 minutes.
Till his bread rises. So, okay. So that's not an inside joke, folks. That's just like what's happening in real life. Is
Kirby's got bread in the oven.
Bread that's rising and has a timer set for it. So yes, the producer retreat is next week. Hey, 25 minutes and counting. We got time. We're good. It's been a ton of fun putting this together. It's also been a little stressful. So the lesson that I'll highlight that I didn't do well for people, because this is a takeaway for the folks listening. I preach this principle of being oversubscribed, right? And I didn't do it for this fund. I thought I did, but I didn't. So I had a certain amount of interest expressed, and then I had people fill out a form and put a deposit down, and then, sold 80-90% of the tickets in the first week. So I was like, oh, great, I'm oversubscribed. And I've had one ticket sitting here waiting to be purchased until like literally today. I think the guy's going to buy this last ticket. So that's been a little stressful of like, okay, if I'm going to do retreats in the future, I need to build up more interest and more awareness for these before I release the tickets so that they're just sold on day one. And then I don't have the stress of like filling a seat that I've already paid for. And
Gotcha.
So because that dramatically impacts the profitability, which I'm not making a huge amount on this first one. It was more of a, can I do this and can it work and can it have the transformation I want it to have? But we've got 3 days at Sundance Mountain Resort with about 10 producers, and I'm very excited. The programming I know works because I've stress tested it through my book and presentations that I've given on the topic before. So like, I know that's dialed in. We're going to have some good hikes. We're going to have some good food. People are going to have an opportunity to get in the mountains and breathe some fresh air and get away from the city life and the stresses of their day-to-day, trying to get their projects moving forward. So very excited. Next week or next episode, I'll be able to give you the full review of how it all went down.
Okay, well, wonderful. And Kirby, for your information, Daren's screening Faith of Angels there on Tuesday night. So I don't know if you track your Insta followers, but you should get a big bump. Sounds like Tuesday night.
Okay.
Didn't I invite you, Kirby? I thought I invited you to the thing.
There have been an influx of emails and stuff. Was it through email or text?
Sure. Yes, one of those.
Did you do 9 or 7?
Yeah.
You calling from Milwaukee?
Which one did you do?
I'll look.
That doesn't work.
That's not it. That's not it. Oh man. Okay.
Well, it'll be fun.
I'll be there.
I'll send you the link, Kirby.
Send me the link.
I'll send you the link over walkie-talkie.
Okay, so Kirby, what when you're not on the foundation and you're not baking bread, anything that we should look for you? What's what's next?
Honestly, there's a couple of projects that I'm working with my good buddy Garrett Batty. There's a film that I don't think I've been as excited about in a long time. I dare say ever. I'm so excited for it, and I think the world is going to love it too.
Tease it? Can you tease it? Have we teased it? I know Daren's read the script.
It's so good. I'm calling it now. I want to produce that movie. So like, I don't know if you're scouting for other producers, but like, I want to do it with the fund. I want to be on this movie.
It'll be so fun. I don't know how much we can say. I don't know. I like to tease. Let's do another episode.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm excited too, and that was kind of one of the initial things that started our foundation. Is as Kirby and I were meeting about a different project, and I think Kirby said, "What are you working on?" I said, "Oh, I have this script that kind of been kicking around for a little bit."
And I said, "Gimme, gimme, gimme."
Gimme. I was so I never know when to offer because if it's too early, can't schedule you right. So I'm excited. Yeah, I won't tease it anymore, but look for some announcements on that.
On the flip side, if it's too early, you can schedule it because the schedule doesn't exist yet. So
Wide open.
let's work around Kirby's.
Good point. Yeah.
So I like it.
That producer mindset right there for you.
No, I read it, I think after or during, I forget when I read it. Maybe after we shot Faith of Angels, and Kirby came to mind for that role. I was just like, this is going to be so good. So good.
You got to read it again. There's been a big rewrite.
Send it over. Do it now. I love it.
Well, wonderful. This has been fantastic. Kirby, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Talk about the foundation. I've taken both sides of this episode, right? Because we're like, we're interviewing Kirby, but also we've been promoting the foundation. So thanks for joining us.
Yes, my pleasure. And I love what you guys do. Thank you for being a voice for independent filmmakers. It's needed. And I think it's that confidence boost. If a bunch of guys like us can make a movie, I think anybody with passion can do it. So it's good to hear your guys' voice. So thank you for putting that out there.
Well said, my friend. Thank you. I got one more ding for your to end the episode on. Here we go.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Please share the episode. You got the invite. Share the episode and send in your questions. What do you have relating to writing or kind of breaking down that script? We're in that phase of production this season, and so hopefully by the end of this season, we'll have broken down the script, and it'll be Daren and Garrett going to the next movie starring Kirby Heyborne. This season of Truly Independent is supported by the Help Them See Foundation. Help Them See is a nonprofit dedicated to supporting feature films that inspire faith, hope, and connection. By partnering with filmmakers, the Help Them See Foundation brings meaningful stories to life and shares them with audiences worldwide, making a lasting cultural impact through the power of cinema. Learn more and discover how you can be part of the movement by visiting helpthemseefoundation.org. Thanks for joining us. If you are enjoying Truly Independent, please share and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the journey. Today's episode was edited by Michael Bradford and produced by 3 Coin Productions.